Let me see, invite people.
That's me.
Okay, just trying to get everyone invited. Can you hear me now? Still no audio on your end, doesn't sound like, but I can see you. I have it as a live broadcast currently. Same thing as I did for the video earlier. Do you have a microphone hooked up to your device? No, you might need that. Let's see. Built-in microphone. Okay. Working yesterday. Well, you can hear me. That's something good. I'm checking my audio just to see if there's a problem on my end. It's not wanting to do anything right now. Let me see. Oh, I hear something coming from the speaker right now. Blast. So problem is I can't hear him, but he can hear me perfectly. Just trying to figure out what's going on.
Did you already press that microphone or the button?
Well, not mute my microphone, but
no, do it and see if it doesn't.
I don't think that should.
Because that little green.
Oh wait,
stuff,
try to say something now.
That green stuff is saying that you have.
Blast.
No.
Oh yeah, the green thing says I'm. It's receiving audio.
But he can't hear you, or you can't hear him.
Let me see. I can't hear him. Let me see. Mute. Don't mute. Okay, I unmuted it.
Is flash on up
It doesn't. Yeah, I still can't hear you. It doesn't say you're unmuted. I occasionally get some weird feedback from yours, so I feel like something should be working with yours.
Google it. Google the problem. I can't hear in the other end. What do I do? Let's Google it. I have no idea. Ew. What are you doing?
I want to make sure audio works. It's funny, a lot of silence and you're on air. But not much. Heard something there. It's like a pock or something. Did anyone else do a intro video? Okay. All right. There. Yeah, some audio. Maybe YouTube.
Hear me now?
Yeah. Little back feed, but
I closed the other video.
oh, that might have fixed it. Okay.
Okay,
He closed
well,
his other video.
maybe this will work better. I am on my iPhone instead.
Yeah, probably one of the settings wasn't working on your other device, is my best guess. But okay, we have signal though. I figured it was yours since I was using my phone earlier and then switched to laptop, and I couldn't get audio on either device. And usually that's a safe bet to check, because generally it's not going to be wrong both.
I had been using this, so I used it like this last weekend, and I had my father-in-law try to help me get this all set up.
Right.
We got a few things working, but it didn't work today. It worked then, but it didn't work today, and I tried it fine. So
Yeah, I hear
I'm
you.
not
My
sure.
wife's my tech person here, so
My wife is too.
yeah, I hear you. All right. So you emailed everybody. I'm not sure. I've been a little bit behind trying to get everything done myself. But you said you were able to email everybody, but no one really answered or anything, or no?
On that spreadsheet where we put all our emails and our name and everything, put us into groups.
Right, group 4, I think.
I'm trying to look it up right now, but she put us in a group of 4, and so I got on there and I looked to see who else was in the group with us. I could maybe email you guys and get to know you, kind of thing.
Right.
And see how things were working out. But it you're the only one that emailed me back.
Gotcha. Yeah, I was figuring
So
that was what happened.
Yeah, so I'm opening it here to see who else was there.
Because I can try and invite them, but I don't have their Gmails.
Right.
Because I'm seeing here the school address is here, which is one you emailed me on, right?
Yes. But that one.
Right. That one. That's true. So I don't know how to get the other people on here. I know that, us are both on this and we can send this to the teacher and she can see it. So at least we'll both get credit for it, but I don't know how to reach the other guys either.
Right. Is this recording?
Yeah, I believe this broadcast is recording. Because it's called the broadcast. This is the same way I was able to make the video or whatever day it was I did for my intro. Were you able to see that one?
I haven't even got on and looked, to be honest.
Oh yeah, I don't blame you. I'm working. I'm doing 40 hours at the same time and trying to do school, so I've been kind of crazy too.
Yeah.
But yeah, I got that on here.
So it looks like we're now what, group 4?
I believe so. Yeah.
She sent out for the last announcement that I see 6, and you were part of group 5.
Okay.
But then somehow we ended up all in group 4.
Yeah, I had a new something or another that said I got switched from 5 to 4, and I had a Tyler Heiner as our group leader. Yeah. And then I was supposed to be group leader next week. Week 5? Oh, week 5 and 6. Sorry. Week 3 and 4 was supposed to be Tyler Heiner. 5 and 6 was me, and so on and so forth. I'm trying to find out. There's a girl for the 4th one. I don't know her name. I'm trying to find my tab where I put it. Somewhere in here. Do you remember what it was on? Do you remember where it was that?
What?
The thing telling us about which week we were on.
What? As in the group or
the
what?
group? Yeah.
What group number you guys are? Who's in your group?
Yeah.
It's in the email.
It was on an email?
Yeah. It's in your email account.
On my email.
You should be in it. I did not close it, I think. Otherwise you have to open it again.
I think I closed it. I seem to like to close out items. But anyway, any homework things you're needing help on? I mean, I'm a little bit behind, to be honest, on my homework.
I am too.
All right, so maybe we can start at the same place in the behind. If you want to work on that, where are you at?
Let me see.
Oh, I need some power. Who's gonna die on me?
You need to turn on the switch.
Oh, okay. Okay, let's see. Week something. Arc. I think I'm still on Monday for my homework. Although I've actually taken calculus before, I'm having to retake it though, so I actually know. I do know some about the antiderivatives.
We're in the same boat.
Same boat?
I took it last semester, but I need a C-. I got like a D+. I got the credits for it, but I didn't get a C-. So I can't move on to the next calculus class.
Gotcha. Yeah, similar here. I was actually doing pretty good, but I had to change things up a little. Fortunately, I was actually taking physics and calculus, but I'm only taking calculus just because my work's pretty aggressive right now, or was. Anywho, but okay. So you're a little behind. Let's see. Find your face. There we are.
So it looks like I'm on, I think, Thursday.
Thursday? Let me
Yes.
see. I've got them printed out.
I'm on yesterday's stuff, but we can do Friday stuff because I'm looking here at the group meeting agenda for where we're meeting on Fridays, and it's like, it says it says to open with a prayer.
Right.
And then so that's why I was wondering if this was already recording or not.
I believe it is, because it says broadcast has started. Maybe they're saying individual prayers or something. That's my only guess. But it's already broadcasting. It says it's live. And this is the same way I sent the other one. if she views it, she's gonna have a lot of extra time on here, but it is recording.
Yeah. Okay. Well, this just says initiate private hangout on air for an opening prayer to invite the Spirit and begin recording. And spend about 5 minutes getting to know one another, introduce yourselves, and listen to the introductions of your group members. And then number 3, it says decide on a rotation schedule for group leader roles.
Okay.
Each group member should be the leader for 2 weeks, and then it rotates to another group member.
Okay.
So, I mean, if you, well, I don't know, you say his name was Heiner, Tyler Heiner or something like that?
Tyler Heiner, yeah. Let's try to pull up the email. I'm not sure I put it. I hid it somewhere. I seem to lose stuff a lot.
Let me see if I can find it over here. But apparently he's supposed to be the group leader this week, and I haven't heard anything from him. I emailed him at the same time I emailed you. I just sent it to both of you.
Right. Yeah. Tyler Heiner. Oh, we have a David Robertson. Okay.
All right.
So you sent him an email, but just didn't get anything back from him?
Yeah.
Okay, that's tough. I'm actually
Okay,
glad
so-
you emailed me. Otherwise, I never would have found how to contact you guys. I thought there's some other way to do it.
Right. So it looks like Tyler was supposed to be the group leader, and then, but I didn't find an email. There was no sign up on the email list on the spreadsheet for David Robertson.
Oh.
So I didn't have any way of contacting him. And then I emailed you and Tyler, and you emailed me back today, and I haven't heard anything from Tyler, but I tried to email you far enough in advance that we would be able to, get this all figured out before the day
Hit.
hit. Yeah.
Yeah, sorry. I actually was a little bit behind on that. I can try to find David Robertson. There is a way to search students on going to directories with the school. I can try to find the chap. Though I would have figured they would have given us another way to contact people.
I would think so too, but
I'm plugging it into their student directory right now. Not getting any results. There's Robertson, right?
Robertson, yeah. Unless he dropped
Robertson, David. So I actually do have, as long as there's the right guy, David Robertson, I have rob12037 at byui.edu. So I'm assuming there's only one.
I would assume that there's only one too.
So yeah, I was able to pull it up on the directory. So it's rob12037 at byui.edu. It gives us a home address, but no other contact info. I mean, it's Ohio, so I mean, I doubt that's going to help us too much.
Okay. Well, so on our iLearn, I guess you can look up all the students in your class.
Okay.
Class list, and then you can like instant message them through iLearn.
Oh, did you look at that? I didn't know that.
So like up at on the black bar at the top of your screen where it has like your name and everything, there's one that has like a little envelope.
Is that on Hangouts or iLearn?
iLearn.
Okay. Gotcha. I see the envelope.
So if you click that and then click on go to instant messages.
Okay.
Then up at the top, there's the third one in. It should say class list.
Gotcha.
And then we can scroll through that and see everybody in the class. And well, yeah, there's 2 pages of him, but then David's right there on the first page.
Yeah, so it shows him as offline.
Which means he's not on iLearn.
Gotcha. Who is the other guy? Tyler Heiner?
Yeah, Tyler Heiner. Let's see if we can find him.
I don't see the name on. Oh, I know what could have happened. If his name's not on here, I wonder if he dropped off the class.
That could be it too.
That'll, I guess that would put me in charge.
But Sister Summers didn't let us know.
Yeah, I was a little bit weird trying to figure everything out here. Bummer, this guy's not online. If he was online, we could message him and get him on here.
I know. But I guess regardless, we're here and we can. I guess we're supposed to look over the activity for Friday.
Okay. Practicing integrals with power functions, it looks like.
Yeah.
Now you have? Okay. This is an answer key with it. Yeah, that's all I have for activities.
Okay. I guess seeing as we've both taken this class before, how comfortable are you with integrals and power functions?
I know how to do them, but this is an antiderivative, isn't it?
All right, so
I'm forgetting right now.
That it is part of antiderivative, because it has the
The sign on the left.
Yeah, it has that. So it's finding the antiderivative.
Right.
Choose the appropriate methods for solving each integral and then solve it. Like on number 2,
Right.
we could use a z sub because both the x's are to the first power.
Okay.
And I don't know, do you know that rule?
To be honest, no. I'm looking at the paper right now at it.
Okay.
Like I mentioned, I'm a little behind on it.
Right.
I just started reading them all today because I was trying to catch up.
No, you're good. The z substitution, if both the x values are to the first power, you can use a z sub if you complete the integral.
Okay.
And it makes it so that I don't know why it makes it easier, but but apparently it's the way you're supposed to do it. I don't know.
Good to know.
I'm looking back here at the
Z sub from the right.
The z sub activity.
Yeah, I'm looking at it. Okay.
I'll flip this back. Probably can't see.
Yeah, I got the same one. Z substitutions, as if you have a product of polynomial and power functions.
Right.
Okay.
So, like I was just looking right there at the first couple examples that they used, where it's like the integral x times x plus 2 to the 5th dx. And off to the side, it kind of like gives you the instructions for it. Z equal x plus 2.
Right.
And then
x equals, okay.
So then x would equal z minus 2, basically. So basically what I would interpret it as is z replaces x minus or x plus 2, but it also replaces the x value. Like, I don't know, something like that, because if you look down to the next equals the integral of z minus 2 times z to the 5th dz.
Oh, I see what's going on. It's a little tricky bit of a blighter, but I see what's going on. So z equals x plus 2, and so they made x plus 2 is to the 5th, and so they made z to the 5th. And since z is x plus 2, if you minus 2 from x plus 2, that equals x, which is in front. So that makes it z minus 2 times z to the 5th. Okay, I'm following.
So then you'd plug that in for the first x out front of the original equation. So like where it says integral of x times x plus 2 to the 5th dx.
So the integral of z minus 2 times z to the 5th, you said, or x
No, the one
times
right
x? Okay, the top one, x times x plus 2 to the 5th, yeah.
First x, they just substituted the z minus 2 because
Gotcha.
that's
Yeah.
what he.
Uh-huh.
And then z equals x plus 2. So where it says x plus 2 to the 5th, now becomes z to the 5th in the next line down.
Oh, I see. Because they multiplied the two together to get them into separate forms. And then once they did that, you're able to use a U substitution on them. Or sorry, reverse power rule, I should say. And then you add
Right.
C to the end.
Find the antiderivative.
Okay. All right. I think I got a hold of Z sub now, if that makes. So for 2 here on the practicing intervals with power functions, your Z would equal Z plus 4 then, or X plus 4.
Your
right?
x.
Your Z.
No, your z would equal x minus 4.
Would. Oh, you're right. I'm wrong. Okay, Z equals X minus 4. And so that way it would be Z plus 4 multiplied by the square root of Z, right?
Yes.
Okay, and then we times that out to get Z times the root of Z plus 4 root Z.
Right.
Okay, and then.
And you can do it that way, or you can write it as like, instead of like the square root of z, you could write it z to the 1/2, because then when you find that, you have to find the antiderivative of it.
It's z to 3/2, right?
Right. It would be like z to the 3/2. Well, hold on. It'd be like 2 z to the 3/2 over 3.
2. Let me see again.
Right, because when you're finding the antiderivative, you add like 1 to the exponent, but then you also have to put that underneath the function. Like, so if it's like z to the.
It goes to z to 5/2 divided by 3 times 2, right?
No. So like, it would be z. So if it was z to the 1/2, let me see if you can see my chicken scratch. Okay.
All right, I'm looking.
Can you see that at all?
Oh, it's super blurry on my screen.
Okay. Well, I will just walk you through it by voice then. Z to the 1/2, like you would here. When you find the antiderivative, you add 1 to the exponent, divide it by like that
New exponent.
1/2 plus 1 on the exponent, so it'd be 3/2 over 3/2. So
right. How? If I understand correctly, sorry, go ahead.
No, you're good. Go.
Okay, so I was just thinking. So we're doing the reverse of a derivative, correct?
Correct.
So if we were deriving x to 3/2, 3/2 goes in front. So we would have 3 times x, and then you minus 1 from the exponent. So it'd be to the 1/2 divided by 2, right?
Yes.
But since we're doing an antiderivative, we're doing the exact opposite, right?
Right. So you have to raise the power by 1.
By 1.
By that new power.
Right. So we have z to the 3/2, right? Because it's a z times root y, or root z. So that's, you add the two exponents, right?
So
Z to the first.
so basically you would have the integral of x times the square root of x minus 4 dx, and then it would be this integral of z plus 4 times z to the 1/2.
Right. Yeah.
So then when you would multiply that through, the integral of z to the 3/2 plus 4z to the 1/2
Yeah.
dz. And then to integrate it, you do the antiderivative. So then you would have to the 5/2 over 5/2, or you can rewrite that as 2z to the 5/2 over 5.
Right. Yeah, I'm following.
Plus, and then you have 4z to the 3/2 over 3/2, or 8z to the 3/2 over 3.
Right. I get the same thing. And
Plus
you said
C.
that's plus c. Right. So yeah, that sounds right to me.
So that's what you do for a z sub.
Okay. Okay.
On number 6, you can use a z sub.
So would you make
And-
z equals x minus 5 again then, to try to get only x
Yes.
inside that?
Right, so z would equal x minus 5, and then x would equal z plus 5.
Right. So z plus
And
5.
see, like, what I would do on this one is I would move the denominator up to the numerator and just make it like x minus 5 to the negative 4th,
Right.
all on one line. And then
So
it
you
would
have
be-
good.
no, go for it.
So I have here then, if we want to do it that way, you'd have z plus 5 multiplied by z to the negative 4th power.
Correct.
Right. Well, and dx or dz, right?
Right. So then you would multiply the z to the negative 4th through the z plus 5. Does that make sense?
Gotcha. Right, giving you z negative 3 plus 5z to the negative 4th dx. Okay.
And then
Going
you
back to
would
2,
integrate.
and then we'd integrate that, right? And so you do plus 1, so z to the negative 2, but it's divided by negative 2 plus z to the negative 5th divided by negative 5, so it's just a negative z to the negative 5th, right?
So you'd have z to the negative 2nd over
Negative 2 minus z to the negative 5th, right?
No, it would be minus.
Oh, you're right. It's to the 3rd, right? It's z to the negative 3rd.
Right, so then it would be minus 5z to the negative 3rd over negative 3. Oh, because you put a minus sign in there.
Right. How do you switch this to so we have this in z, but we want to get this in x now. How do we do that?
So then once you've found the antiderivative,
Right.
your z value is x minus 5.
Oh, so we just then plug in.
Plug it
Okay.
back in your answer.
Gotcha. Okay.
And so we can use that. We used it for 2, we used it for 6. We can use it for 9 or 7, and we can use it for 3.
So you said for 2, 3, 6, 7, 9, you use it?
Yes, because they're all
Okay.
x.
Okay. Let me see. X to the 1 power. So there's z subs. Let me see. Choose the appropriate methods for doing some of these. I know some of these have very specific formulas, but I'm not remembering them right now. I feel like 5 has a formula that's very specific. I don't know if you recognize that one from before either.
I think you can use a U sub for that one.
We use a U sub for the 4x minus 1, make U equal that.
Hold on, let me look here. So like, I know for sure you can use a U sub for like number 1, you can use a U sub.
Mm-hmm.
And number 10, you can use a U sub. For sure. Let's see.
Oh, yeah.
And then
I feel like number 4, if you just multiplied it through, that might make it a little easier. But then again, it's to the 4th, and that would be a pain in the neck.
right.
Oh, wait a second, though. Wait a second. Something's stroking a memory here. Oh, I see what's going on here on this one. So number 4, you'll notice that the inside of x, so x squared plus 3x minus 1, if you take the derivative of that, that equals what's on the right here.
Right.
Do you recognize that? I know. Yeah. So the actual answer for that is going to be x squared plus 3x minus 1 to the 5th, because we already have what comes out of it on the right? Is that a U sub? I forget.
It's called I always called it a license problem. That's the way I was taught.
License. I know I've seen it before. I couldn't remember what it's called though.
Yeah, so where that is the derivative of the before function there, the x squared plus 3x minus 1 to the 4, or yeah.
Yeah.
The derivative of that is 2x plus 3.
Right.
So then that kind of just cancels out.
Yeah, that gets smashed back in, and you get x squared plus 3x minus 1 to the 5th. We still have to deal with that, though, don't we? So do we still divide it by 5, though?
Right.
We still don't have to worry about U.
Yeah, so you do, I think it's x squared plus 3x minus 1 to the 5th divided by 5 multiplied by side function. Or is it just?
I thought you have to use this license. That license goes into it, and then having the license there basically makes that part disappear. Because you're dividing, not multiplying, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Because let me think. Right, because if we were to do x squared plus 3x minus 1 to the 5th divided by 5, if we wanted to take the derivative of that, you do 5 times the inside problem, x squared plus 3x minus 1, and then you'd multiply that by the derivative of the inside, which would be 2x plus 3. So that 2x plus 3 goes into the x squared plus 3x minus 1. And then the c, any constant on the outside, obviously we get rid of that. Does that sound right to you?
I think so. Like, I think in the end, it's just going to be x squared plus 3x minus 1 to the 5th over 5 plus c.
Yeah, that's what I have for that. And then if you tried, I was just trying to solve that. It's like, so we think that's the answer, and the best way to check the answer is basically take the derivative of that answer.
Right.
And so I just took the derivative, and that gave me what we had in the first place.
Perfect.
So
then on number 5, I think you can kind of do the same. So like the derivative of 4x minus 1.
It's 4. Okay, I'm following.
Right. Where it's a constant, it doesn't have an x multiplied by it or a variable multiplied by it. You could basically multiply it by the top and pull its reciprocal out front of the integral sign. So like you'd have like 1/4 out front of the integral sign. And then it's kind of like a license problem, because you're not changing the problem itself by pulling it out front.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Right, because the constant multiple rule states that if there's a multiple in front of it, you can just push that through. And the same thing with the integral is that the inverse is true.
So the way I was taught was we just pull it out front of the integral and then find the antiderivative inside or of the integral of the function there, and then you just multiply it by whatever you pull out front in the end.
Right, it makes sense. How'd you pull out the 1/4 though? Because that 4 is under the square root sign.
Right. So you have the derivative of that function 4x minus 1. So if you multiply the 1 on top by 4, it gives you the derivative.
So I see what you're doing. Okay.
There's your problem. But then you also have to multiply the outside by 1/4 to account for that.
Gotcha. So you're going to use that 4 to throw in like your license problem.
Correct.
Okay, I'm following. Because because to get that on the bottom means it would have to be on the top. Let me think. How would you do that last? Antiderivative. So square root of 4x minus y over 1, or divided by 4 is what we would get, right?
So again, this is just the way I learned it, but I would put the 4x minus 1 -1/2 power, so that it's like on the top, it's not in the denominator, it's in the numerator instead.
Yeah, sometimes I do that, so it's a little easier. I hear you. So 4x minus 1 to the -1/2.
And then you find the antiderivative of that, so then you'd add 1, which makes it +1/2. 1/2 basically. So you would have 1/4 times 2, and then in parentheses 4x minus 1. So basically in the end you'd end up with 4x minus 1 to the 1/2 over 2. Does that make sense?
Okay, let me see. I'm trying it real quick. Show that 4, 2. Okay, so you have 4x minus 1 to the 1/2 over 2 plus c.
Correct.
Gotcha.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm getting the same here.
Okay. And then on so we got number 1 covered with a u sub. We got number 2 covered with a z sub. Number 3 is a z sub. Number 4 was a license. Number 5 is a license. 6 was a z sub. 7 was a z sub. 8 we haven't done yet. 7, 10 was a u sub. Or yeah, u sub.
Is 8 one of those problems then? I know there are some formulas that we had at one point you're supposed to memorize or whatever. But
I'm trying to remember them.
yeah.
So it's all something that we've learned previously.
But not yet.
So
we haven't studied license, have we?
Not specifically that I remember, but no. Well, this is the activity to teach us about license so that we can use it.
You might be right.
think-
Let me see.
So,
Well, eight seems to be a difficult one, right?
right. I think it's one of those that we don't know how to do yet with the calculus that we've learned.
Yeah, because it makes it sound like one of them is supposed to be can't solve it yet. Because otherwise they wouldn't have that as an option, as can't solve it yet.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna write can't solve it yet on mine. But we have U sub, Z sub, license problem. I don't remember. I'm a little behind, as I mentioned. I need a little bit of a help with the Z sub here real quick, but I don't remember going over any license problems unless you had it under a different name, because I know sometimes they have different names for everything.
Right. I'm trying that I printed off.
Right. I have Thursday's homework here, and I'm not seeing.
So I think some of the license problem, it came from when we were supposed to be running there's a worksheet on that we did this week.
Okay.
I think it comes from there, but like at least my teacher, when she taught me
Right.
last semester, she just her own things. I think each teacher has their this method works really well.
Right.
And it helps you understand it better, but it still follows the running the chain rule backwards, but we call it a license problem instead.
Oh, that's right. They call it the chain rule. Cause Khan Academy kept talking about, hey, this is just a chain rule. And I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. It's not like chain rule to me.
It's
Gotcha. I think you're right, coming to think of it.
So I think that's basically what we have for. Let me just jump on here and check the answer key really quick. See how we're doing.
Yeah, it's fine.
So U sub, and they got U sub. Number 2, we said Z sub, and they got Z sub. Number 3, we said Z sub, and they got Z sub. Number 4, we did a license problem, but they did U sub on here. But I feel like a U sub and a license problem are kind of interchangeable a little bit.
Yeah, I think you're right. Oh, because it's U derivative of U, right?
Right. So you got U is equal to the function inside, and then du to the derivative of the function.
On the inside, yeah.
Yeah.
So
then it would U to the 4th du, and then you would just integrate it like we did and get the same answer that we did.
Yeah.
And then the same thing with 5, they used a U sub, but we did a license problem.
Right, they just did it a little differently. Right, and then 6 was Z sub. Good.
We got the same answer on number 5.
Okay.
And then 6 was a Z sub. 7, we said Z sub, they said Z sub. 8, we says that you can't do it yet. 9 says algebra. So I think it just
multiply it through.
I see. The x plus 2 is not raised to a power on the outside.
Yeah.
You can just multiply the x in front through.
Okay.
And find the x squared plus 2x dx. And then just find the antiderivative of that.
Gotcha. Yeah, it'd be x cubed divided by 3 plus x squared plus c. Right, that one's pretty easy then.
Right, x squared, 2x, yeah, x squared, that's right. And then 10 was a U sub, which is what we said.
Okay, and they did say 8 couldn't be solved yet.
Yes, 8 cannot be solved yet.
Okay.
I think 8 has something to do with a log function or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
but
That rings a bell.
we haven't learned yet. So, or it's a what do you call it? A difference of, it's not squares, but a difference of something or something like that. It looks like, but I'm not sure.
Yeah. I'm remembering something from one of my past classes, yeah, of that one. Okay. So that works. Do you want to work through any of these problems, or I think that helped me a lot, actually. I really appreciate the help on that. Is there anything that
If you want to work through them, we can. I think I'm good. I've been getting the hang of it pretty easily. And like even throughout the week, if you have any questions, you can send me a text and we can jump on like this and talk about something or whatever.
Cool.
But unless you want to work through some of them together, I think I'm good.
No, I mean, I think I can work through these. I got help from you that I needed to get these done. I'm trying to think if there's anything I could help you with, and we're already through all the stuff I was really good at. So, I liked my derivatives best.
Me too.
I always hated linearizations, and we just did those too, and I hate those. So
I and I'm not very good at optimization, linearization, and related rates.
yeah, not a fan.
Those are the worst for me.
Yeah, I'd agree. I was going through the ladder problems and the sphere problems today, and I was kind of getting confused.
Yeah.
But okay. Well, that'll be good. And hey, we're getting points for doing this here.
Yeah. So I guess what we're supposed to do is like, I initiated this video call, right?
You were the one that did all the work of making it happen. Although the video
no,
call's on my name, I believe.
Not like that. Like I called you.
I
think the video in my library, whatever it is, make a copy of it and send it to you, and then you can upload it.
Okay.
I think that's how it works.
Yeah, I think it might be something like that.
Let me take
it's
a
either
look.
I think it might be on mine.
It might be on yours too. I'm gonna jump on here and.
Does yours say live on the top right next to the group chat?
Yes.
Yeah. And the bottom, does it say stop broadcast?
No. Well,
okay, mine says.
I'm on my phone, so it might be the same.
Okay. Yeah, because mine has a little red live thing and says stop broadcast. So because remember how you tried to invite me on the phone earlier, and then I found this on my computer and then re-invited you. So I think it's actually on mine this time. And I think only one of us has to do it, though. If we both do it, I figure it's no big deal. But I figure if we have the group for them, she should be able to see that we're both on it.
Yeah.
But if you want me to send it to you just in case, I can try to figure out how to do that.
Let me see what I can find here. But if you, just send it to me if you can find it. Just upload it and we'll hopefully get credit for it.
Yeah, the link. We're talking about how to.
Once you start the broadcast, you have the link and you have to email it to every member so that they each individually can submit it.
Okay. Well, she knows. So apparently, once I end the broadcast, I'll have the link, and I'm supposed to email it to all the rest of you.
Okay, that works.
So yeah, I'll email the other guy the link anyway and say, hey, sorry we missed you. We'll be here next time.
Sorry we missed you. This is what we talked about.
Yeah, pretty much. Anything else you need? Are you doing good?
I think I'm doing good. Can't complain about anything.
Hey.
Working and doing everything, but it's life. That's what happens.
Yeah, pretty much. Well, Godspeed, and see you next week, huh?
All right, sounds good.
Okay.
Hey, take care.
You too. Bye.